Republicans are just the party of pedophiles. Let's just say with it what it was. Remember Matt Gaetz, who was supposed to be the Attorney General? Well, it's been confirmed that the man that was supposed to be Trump's first pick for Attorney General is not only a pedophile, but a human trafficker. Let's break it down. And I want to emphasize that words matter, especially regarding human trafficking and exploitation. As someone who has worked with children who have been human trafficked, children cannot consent to sex. The consent age in Florida is 18. This child was 17, so this is statutory rape. So not only was she trafficked, she was raped. So words matter, and I want to emphasize that when I'm going through this story. In Matt Gaetz' scandal, circumstances left teen vulnerable to exploitation. A 17-year-old with a homeless parent wanted money for braces and ended up having sex, rape, for money with a powerful man. She wants the public to have a fuller understanding of how she was victimized. She was 17 and a high school junior in Florida. She was working at McDonald's and she was living in and out of a homeless shelter. Hoping to save up to buy braces to fix her teeth, she falsely advertised herself in 2017 as 18 years old on a website that matches men looking for companionship with young women looking to make money. What followed would set off a chain of events that would have a dramatic impact on her life and help upend the political career of one of the men she would encounter, Representative Matt Gaetz, the Florida Republican. Matt Gaetz was investigated by the Justice Department for child sex trafficking, but never charged. Following the election last year, he was President Trump's first choice to serve as Attorney General. He subsequently resigned from Congress and then withdrew from consideration as Attorney General under a storm of scrutiny. Bipartisan House Ethics Committee investigation later determined there was substantial evidence that he had sex, emphasis rape, with the 17-year-old, and the report included testimony from the girl about how she was paid by Mr. Gaetz for the sex. It's rape. Last month, in response to a request from the McClatchy newspaper chain, a federal judge in Florida unsealed court documents from a related civil case that shed some light on her background. The documents included a description of the girl that said that at the time she met Mr. Gaetz, she was a then homeless 17-year-old high schooler. In response to that disclosure, the New York Times reached out to the girl's lawyer, Laura B. Wolf, who agreed to confirm some basic biographical information about her client, providing details for the first time of how the girl's circumstances led her to her encounters with Mr. Gaetz. Ms. Wolf said her client believed that the public should have a fuller understanding of how she had been victimized. The vulnerable circumstances most crime victims face are rarely known to the public, Ms. Wolf said. Although my client's circumstances were revealed outside of her control, I hope it helps for the public to see a fuller and more human picture of her than the press has reported on to date. Ms. Wolf added, power imbalances can be age, but they can also be financial. My client had little economic security, which allowed for financial leverage over her. Experts in sex trafficking said that the matter involving the girl demonstrated how there is a spectrum of ways girls and women are exploited. In some cases, the girls or women are physically trapped and unable to escape men who are taking advantage of them. In other cases, the girls or women find themselves at the whims of more powerful men after turning to sex trafficking out of economic need. In response to questions about the girl, Mr. Gaetz said in a text message on Thursday, I never had sex with this person. This person threatened me with a lawsuit if I didn't pay her $2.3 million, Mr. Gaetz said. She never sued me because her story is fiction. According to her lawyer, the girl's path to meeting Mr. Gaetz began during her junior year in high school. In December 2016, she turned 17. Her parents were divorced. One of them was so poor that the parent was living in and out of a homeless shelter. When the girl and her siblings were staying with that parent, they lived with the parent in the shelter. To make extra money, the girl worked at McDonald's, but she began looking for other ways to make money and turned to a website that advertised itself as a sugar dating website that primarily connected older men and younger women seeking mutually beneficial relationships, according to the report by the House Ethics Committee. Mr. Greenberg first invited the 17-year-old to a meeting on his boat, according to court documents. At that meeting, they did not have sex, but Mr. Greenberg paid her $400, the document said. Around that time, Mr. Greenberg gave her ecstasy and told her to try it at home. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Greenberg contacted the girl again, and they ultimately met up at a hotel where they had sex. It's rape, according to court documents. For that, she was paid another $400, the court documents said. In the months that followed, Mr. Greenberg used his personal credit card, and one for the local tax collecting office he was in charge of would have sex with her 7 times for money before she turned 18, the documents said. Often during those encounters, he would give her ecstasy, and he would often pay the girl and other women additional money for taking the drug during sex. Mr. Gaetz, then 35, attended the party along with a girlfriend. At the party, the girl who was 17 later testified both cocaine and ecstasy were offered to her. She took the ecstasy and drank, according to court papers. She testified that she danced naked in front of Mr. Dorworth and swam naked in his pool. The ethics committee heard testimony that the girl twice had sex with Mr. Gaetz that evening, rape, and a court document quotes her as having testified that she had sex with him once on a pool table or hockey table. She testified that Mr. Dorworth saw Mr. Gaetz have sex with her on the game table and then laughed about it with other partygoers. Mr. Dorworth has claimed that he was not home at the time, an assertion undercut by phone records that became part of the litigation in the case. The girl later told congressional investigators that she saw Mr. Gaetz use cocaine that night. Having sex with him twice, the girl was paid $400, according to testimony she gave to the ethics committee. Mr. Greenberg pleaded guilty to sex trafficking a minor for having sex with the girl in exchange for money. He was sentenced to a decade in prison, but the department declined to charge Mr. Gaetz. In late 2022, lawyers for the girl sent letters to Mr. Gaetz and Mr. Dorworth about whether they would reach a financial settlement with the girl. The girl never sued, but Mr. Dorworth sued the girl, setting off depositions in exchange for evidence. Mr. Dorworth would drop the case against the girl, but some documents generated by the case were given to ethics committee investigators, who later used them in their report. The documents that revealed the girl was homeless were unsealed in October. Matt Gaetz needs to be tried and prosecuted for sex trafficking and statutory rape. He should be in prison. He should not be a free man. And shame on every single person in that House Ethics Committee to let that man walk free. The Republican Party is a party of pedophiles, pedophile protectors, and criminals.